start moving interviews forward while you figure out the rest. It's like start recording episodes because you can change the intro and outro. Like in your interview, you don't have to say the name of the podcast. You don't have to describe the podcast. Like as long as you at least have your objective and your host figured out, like you just can then start recording episodes. But like that's the most important thing. It's like recording content is like, and like don't get hung up on the other stuff. Record content and you can move all of those other things in parallel. But recording content takes time. It's hard to get on people's calendars. So get those scheduled. And like the biggest thing I always tell people is like, it's like, don't worry. Like, don't worry. You don't have the questions. You don't know the topics. Like just get them on the calendar.
That's great.
And then like you have a date to figure everything else out for that interview and you'll figure it out because you have it on the calendar. So just get the interviews on the calendar. That is going to be what's going to move your show forward to launching is, you're going to want a few episodes live. So just get those scheduled. Everything else will fall into place because once you have those interviews done, you're like, hey, well, if this interview's done, we can launch by this date. And then suddenly everyone's like, we have a deadline for a name. First, we have had customers, no joke, spend 4 months deciding a name. They sent it to a naming committee. You were there for this, Josh. They sent it to a naming committee and had the entire marketing team of like 30 people vote on names, which was then overruled by the CEO for a different name. And so like these things happen.
Yes.
And so it's just like, get your episodes there because like once you're sitting on content, people are going to launch.